There is a small, almost humorous moment that many dog owners recognize instantly. You stand up and walk toward the bathroom, expecting a brief moment of privacy. Yet before the door can even close, you notice it, the soft sound of paws behind you, the quiet presence that refuses to be left behind. Your dog follows you in, sits, and watches. Calm, patient, completely unbothered by what you are doing. At first, it feels strange, maybe even a little uncomfortable. Why would a dog feel the need to follow someone into such a private space? But for your dog, there is nothing unusual about this at all. In fact, this behavior reveals something deeply rooted in instinct, emotion, and the invisible bond between you. Dogs are creatures shaped by social structure. Their ancestors lived in close groups, where separation could mean danger. Being alone was not just uncomfortable, it was risky. Over time, this instinct has not disappeared. It has simply adapted. Now, instead of a pack in the wild, your dog sees you as its central figure, its source of safety and direction. When your dog follows you to the bathroom, it is not trying to invade your privacy. It is responding to a deeply ingrained need to stay connected. In its mind, you are not just a person moving from one room to another. You are the anchor of its world. When you disappear behind a door, even for a short time, it creates a moment of uncertainty. By following you, your dog removes that uncertainty. It keeps the connection intact. It ensures that the bond remains unbroken, even in the smallest moments of daily life. There is also a strong emotional layer behind this behavior. Dogs form attachments that are intense and genuine. They do not measure closeness in logical terms. They experience it through presence. Being near you is not just comforting, it is essential. Your scent, your movements, your voice. All of these signals create a sense of calm within your dog. The bathroom, while ordinary to you, is simply another space to your dog. It does not carry the same boundaries or meanings. What matters is that you are there, and where you go, your dog naturally wants to follow. Another important aspect is curiosity. Dogs are naturally observant creatures. They pay attention to patterns and routines. When you suddenly change direction and enter a smaller, enclosed space, it can trigger curiosity. What is happening there? Why is this space different? By following you, your dog satisfies that curiosity while also maintaining its sense of connection. But beyond curiosity, there is something more subtle at play. Your dog is constantly monitoring you, not in a controlling way, but in a deeply attentive one. It reads your movements, your energy, even the smallest changes in your behavior. Following you to the bathroom can be part of this ongoing awareness. It keeps your dog informed, connected, and ready to respond if needed. For some dogs, especially those with strong attachment tendencies, this behavior can also reflect a fear of separation. Even brief moments apart can feel significant to them. Being in the same room, even a quiet one, reduces that tension. It reassures them that everything is still as it should be. There is also a protective instinct woven into this action. In the wild, vulnerability often comes when an individual is isolated or distracted. While your dog may not fully understand the context of a bathroom, it may still perceive it as a moment where you are less alert. By staying close, your dog fulfills a quiet role as a companion and observer, not guarding in an aggressive sense, but simply being present. Interestingly, this behavior can also become reinforced over time. If your dog has followed you before and nothing negative happened, if it felt calm, safe, and close to you, it learns that this action leads to positive outcomes. Over time, it becomes a habit, not forced, not trained, but naturally repeated. There is also an element of routine. Dogs thrive on predictability. When you move in a certain way at certain times, your dog begins to anticipate those actions. Following you to the bathroom may become part of that daily rhythm, a small but consistent pattern that provides structure to its world. What makes this behavior truly fascinating is how normal it feels to your dog. There is no awkwardness, No sense of intrusion, only a simple desire to remain close, to share space, to exist beside you even in the quietest moments. And yet, as simple as it appears, this behavior can also reveal something deeper about your relationship. Because sometimes, following you everywhere, even into the bathroom, is not just about connection. It can be a sign of how your dog handles independence, how it manages distance, and how it sees its role in your life. As this behavior continues to repeat itself day after day, it begins to reveal a more complex layer beneath the surface. What may appear as simple companionship can sometimes reflect a deeper emotional pattern. Not all closeness is the same, and not every act of following carries the same meaning. For some dogs, following you everywhere, even into the bathroom, is a sign of strong attachment. This kind of bond is natural and often healthy. It shows that your dog trusts you, feels safe around you, and chooses to stay close. However, there is a fine line between healthy attachment and overdependence. Dogs that struggle with independence often show subtle signs. They may become restless when you move away. They may watch you constantly, as if trying to predict your next action. When you leave the room, even briefly, they may follow immediately, unable to remain in place. The bathroom becomes just one of many spaces where this pattern plays out. In these cases, following you is not only about connection, it is about reassurance. Your presence becomes a stabilizing force that the dog relies on to feel calm. Without it, even for a short time, the dog may experience unease. This does not mean something is wrong. It simply reflects how deeply your dog depends on you emotionally. Just as humans vary in their need for closeness, dogs do as well. Some are naturally more independent, able to rest alone without concern. Others are more sensitive, more attuned to presence, and more affected by absence. There is also a behavioral learning aspect that strengthens this habit. Every time your dog follows you and remains close, it reinforces a pattern. The dog learns that staying near you leads to comfort. Even if you do not actively reward the behavior, the emotional outcome itself becomes a reward. Over time, this can create a loop. The dog feels better when it is close to you, so it seeks closeness more often. The more it follows you, the more natural the behavior becomes. Eventually, it may feel unusual for the dog to not follow at all. Another important element is timing. Dogs are highly sensitive to transitions. When you stand up, when you change direction, when you move toward a different space, these moments signal change. Following you into the bathroom may be less about the bathroom itself and more about the transition. Your dog is simply continuing the connection through each movement. There is also a subtle emotional communication happening in these moments. Your dog is not just reacting, it is engaging. By following you, it is participating in your routine. It is staying involved in your world, even when nothing exciting is happening. However, there are times when this behavior can indicate mild anxiety. If your dog becomes visibly distressed when it cannot follow you, if it scratches at the door, whines, or shows signs of tension, then the behavior may be linked to separation discomfort. In these situations, the bathroom becomes a barrier that the dog does not understand. From the dog's perspective, the sudden separation does not make sense. One moment you are together, and the next you are gone behind a closed space. Without the ability to understand time in the same way humans do, even a short absence can feel uncertain. This is why some dogs choose to stay as close as possible, avoiding that separation entirely. It is a way of maintaining emotional balance. There is also a personality component that should not be overlooked. Some dogs are naturally more observant and curious. They enjoy being involved in everything their owner does. Following you into the bathroom is simply another opportunity to stay engaged. Other dogs may be more relaxed, more independent, and less concerned with constant proximity. They may choose to stay where they are, confident that you will return. These differences are shaped by genetics, early experiences, and daily interactions. Interestingly, your response as an owner also plays a role. Even small reactions can influence behavior. If you talk to your dog, make eye contact, or acknowledge its presence while it follows you, it reinforces the interaction. The dog learns that being near you leads to connection, even in quiet moments. But even without direct reinforcement, the bond itself is enough. Dogs are deeply social beings. They do not need a reason to stay close. The connection is the reason. What makes this behavior so meaningful is not the action itself, but the intention behind it. Your dog is not simply following a movement. It is following a relationship. It is choosing to remain connected, to stay within your presence, to be part of your world in every possible moment. And yet, as we look even deeper, there is another layer that often goes unnoticed. Because sometimes this behavior is not just about what your dog feels. It is also about what your dog is trying to understand, interpret, and respond to within you. There is a final layer to this behavior that is often overlooked, yet it may be the most meaningful of all. Dogs are not only reacting to you, they are constantly interpreting you. Every movement, every pause, every shift in energy becomes information that they quietly observe and process. When your dog follows you into the bathroom and settles nearby, it is not simply maintaining closeness, it is watching. Not in a demanding or intrusive way, but with a calm and focused awareness. Your dog is reading you, trying to understand your state, your rhythm, your presence. Dogs have an extraordinary ability to sense emotional changes. They notice tension in your body, changes in your breathing, even subtle differences in how you move. These signals are often invisible to other humans, but to your dog, they are clear and meaningful. The bathroom, in a strange way, becomes a space where you are more still, more unguarded, and more predictable. Your dog may see this as an opportunity to observe you in a calm state. There is no distraction, no movement across rooms, no sudden changes, just you, present and quiet. In these moments, your dog is not asking for anything. It is simply being with you. This kind of presence is different from play or attention seeking. It is a deeper form of companionship, one that does not rely on action or reward. There is also a subtle mirroring that can happen. Dogs often align their emotional state with the people they trust. If you are calm, they become calm. If you are tense, they may become alert. By staying close to you, your dog is able to regulate its own emotions through your presence. This creates a feedback loop of calmness. You are still, your dog is still, and both of you share a quiet moment of balance. It is a form of connection that does not require words or gestures. It simply exists. At the same time, your dog may also be offering something to you, even if you are not aware of it. Its presence can be grounding. The gentle sound of breathing, the warmth of its body nearby, the steady awareness that you are not alone. These small details can have a calming effect, even on a subconscious level. This is one of the unique aspects of the human and dog relationship. It is not only about care or companionship. It is about mutual regulation. Both of you influence each other in subtle ways, creating a shared emotional environment. There is also an element of trust that becomes visible in these moments. Your dog feels comfortable enough to be still, to relax, to simply exist in your presence without expectation. This kind of trust is not built quickly. It develops over time through consistency, care, and shared experience. Interestingly, your dog does not question whether it should follow you. It does not analyze the situation or consider social boundaries. It acts based on connection. Where you go, it feels natural to go, not because it must, but because it wants to. This simplicity is what makes the behavior so genuine. There is no hidden agenda, no complex reasoning, just a direct expression of attachment and awareness. However, this also means that your dog depends on you to shape the balance of that connection. If you encourage independence, your dog can learn to feel secure even when you are not in the same space. If you allow constant proximity, your dog may continue to seek closeness in every moment. Neither is inherently right or wrong. What matters is understanding the meaning behind the behavior, rather than dismissing it as random or insignificant. When your dog follows you into the bathroom, it is not just a habit, it is a message. A quiet expression of trust, attention, and emotional connection. It reflects how your dog sees you, not just as an owner, but as a central presence in its life. And perhaps the most important part is this. Your dog does not need grand moments to express that connection. It shows it in the smallest actions, in the silent choice to follow, in the calm decision to stay, in the simple act of being there.
Look at that,
Even in the
buddy.
most ordinary
That was quite the
spaces,
move they
what may
pulled there.
feel like a trivial moment to you can be, for your dog, a complete and meaningful experience of togetherness.